place on Mirage. And we've got a map breakdown, much like Inferno, of the map Mirage.
The layout for Mirage comes from an old map known as CPL Strike and was given a change of name to Mirage before being adopted within CS:GO. The defending CT's starting point provides easy access to both bomb sites to set up defense before the attacking Ts arrive. The Ts have 2 primary entrances to A and a single one to B. A third can be added if mid-control is achieved. Attacking the B site can be a big handful for the Ts. Due to the narrow hallway that runs into the site, this can be very hard to get out of because one good enemy grenade and your whole team can be damaged. The A site has the opposite challenge, being much easier to get in and successfully plant on. Defending the bomb in the after plant situation can be much harder, given the many spots to hold. Mid-control is the name of the game here. With quick access to both bomb sites, it gives the T side multiple options. CTs will often try and disrupt the Ts on one side of the map with aggressive pushes to counter a loss of mid-control. Enjoy the match.
That is Mirage, and that it will indeed be where the matchup takes place. That will be the map. Now, before we get into it, before we get some predictions out of the way, we've got Christine for a lightning round to do with Adam.
Thank you very much, and welcome back to the tip of the stage, which I've aptly named the Savage Zone. What do you think about that, Christine?
Oh, sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it threw you, didn't it? The Savage Zone.
That absolutely threw me.
I'm fumbling. Welcome to the Lightning Breakdown. This is a very exciting part of the show here. Breakdown 2 matches that we're not going to see on the main screen here. These ones, Potter, are big games. First and foremost, you've got Round 2, Space Soldiers versus Astralis on Inferno, and Ninjas in Pajamas versus Made in Brazil. You've got 60 seconds. Are you feeling confident?
I am.
You are?
Let's go.
You
Bring it
seem
on.
ready to rock and roll. Here we go. Let's get some time on the screen. And in 3, 2, 1, go.
Space Soldiers, Astralis. Let's see. I'm a little worried for Space Soldiers. They had a really strong start on their last map, and they were kind of struggling just to close it out. So hopefully they have a strong start again, because they're absolutely going to need it versus Astralis. But even then, I don't think they have a shot at winning, to be honest. I think they can put up a good show, kind of warm up for tomorrow, hopefully, in front of their home crowd, and that'll give them a little bit of a boost. But yeah, I definitely have a shot at winning that one. And NIP versus MIBR. NIP just lost versus Space Soldiers. They almost brought it back, so hopefully they can take that momentum into this game and hopefully win.
I know. We've got 20 seconds left to kill.
I know. I didn't know I talked that
Favorite
fast.
film?
Harry Potter.
How obviously, Potter. And favorite color?
Purple.
Purple. That's a nice color too. I like that one. And favorite green thing?
Apple Jolly Rancher.
That's specific. Thank you very much. That was a great lightning breakdown. I enjoyed that. The personal stuff at the end there was a real nice touch. Thank you very much. Back to you, Jason. Back to you guys.
Well, in case you're wondering where she got her alias, I think we've all got it figured out now. That's I don't know what I'd say for favorite green thing. That's kind of weird.
How is that not an automatic turtle?
That's a good point. I don't know if they're actually fully green, though. You know, the shell is a little bit more of a brownish color. I don't know how much you know about turtles. I don't know much. Either way.
What do you know about Jason?
That's always the question, isn't it? Bless it all. Let's get into the prediction time. Do any of you guys, is there anything that VP showed you that give them faith they're going to be able to beat Cloud9? These aren't world beaters, but are you still, anyone going to pull for VP?
No, I'm going to favorite like Cloud9. I have to go to Cloud9, see how VP played the last match. I cannot go with him.
Tommy, anything from you?
So I don't think it's going to be a lopsided game there where Cloud9 just runs over VP.
Right.
I also the one bad thing is like Cloud9 historically has always been a team that like Mirage, and I think Automatic has been their most important player on that. So that's a little worrisome for them. I do think this is a game where VP, if they get a decent start, get some things going for them, they could potentially win. But I also agree with
yeah. I think it's going to depend on
Cloud9's the favorite.
It's going to depend on the mid control really. That's going to just show us the game. If VP can have a good mid control and then just roll on with this, that's going to be a really close game.
And that was,
if not, it's just going to be like really hard for them.
That was always what Cloud9 used to be really good at. The mid control was literally like how they always were good on Mirage. That was the one thing they could do, and they just relied on it at all times.
Well, I mean, here's the weird thing, because if you even roll back the years a little bit farther, Virtus.Pro were like the original masters who showed us how mid control should work on this map. How do you just forget that as a team? Well,
Snacks is not there, so I think that, I think that's about it. Also, you know, from what we've seen in Mouseport, it doesn't seem like Snacks is, you know, there either. There's something going on there.
Yeah, there is a little bit. Keo, what is it like going up against a team that has, like, why is mid so important as a player defending other sides of the map? Why, like, how hard is it to when an opposing team is consistently taking map control in middle?
But the thing is, like with Mirage, the mid control is so important because it just gives you access to both the bomb side, and then you can also use window as an advantage for you as a T. So the CT never know where to go, and they have to either push one of the side or play really passive. So if they don't take any decisions, most of the team not going to take any decisions because they're afraid of. They're just going to be, if they play scared again, they're not going to take any decisions. They're going to stay in CT, take passive positions, and then they're going to get like
destroyed.
Kind of play. They're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, we'll be interested to see. We're going to go to a quick break. So again, just go get your pop, your water, whatever it might be, and come back. Because when we return, we're going to get the match underway. It's going to be VP versus Cloud9.
Take the reef by storm. All of us. Every Titan, every Warlock, every Hunter.
For the players.
With Amazon Prime Video, you get the whole package. Drama, I Hate You Very Much, included. The latest Prime original series, Jack Ryan, included.
Paris was only the beginning.
Only on Amazon Prime Video.
I know how to levitate up off my feet, and ever since the 7th grade I learned to fire breathing. Though I feed on things that fell, you can learn to levitate with just a little help. You can levitate with just a little help.
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Play it on the world's most powerful console.
Are you ready to battle? Show your skills live on Twitch, the world's biggest esports stage. Here is your chance to share in a $15,000 prize pool, plus the opportunity to represent Australia at the Predator APAC Championships in Bangkok, with $250,000 up for grabs. With entries open for everybody, now it's your chance to win. Who will be Australia's first PUBG champion? Tune in every week for the action.
Oh, welcome back to Blast Pro. It's just me, but just very quickly, we'll be sending it off over to Launders and Scrawny for Cloud9 taking on Virtus.Pro.
Jason, Launders, we've moved up. We've been upgraded.
Yes.
It's the mainstream. It's ours. It's a takeover. And of course, I think this is a really exciting game. I'm all for Cloud9 Virtus.Pro.
Yeah, I'm just kind of upset because I heard that this isn't actually traditional Turkish garb.
What is it then?
I would like my $6 back.
Yeah.
And I would like to keep it.
Are you really going to go argue over that $6?
Absolutely not. I didn't have to barter to get it for $6. I think they maybe thought they scammed me, but little do they know, my dollar had more power.
A powerful man, well-dressed to the teeth, and now, of course, Cloud9 and Virtus.Pro on screens, folks. So thanks for tuning in to the main stream. Of course, there's 3 streams going on all at the same time. We're sure to keep you guys updating on the matchups, but it's Mirage once again. This is where me and you just came off of with that Space Soldiers versus NIP match. It looked like a bit of a blowout, but it ended up being a close one. This, however, is one of the victims of a blowout. Virtus.Pro now being tested a second time tonight, and they are gonna just test this B site incredibly quickly. They've already thrown themselves out through the windows. Nice little 2-piece smoke down as well, but the kills come the way of Cloud9. It's Flusha and Automatic with those first 2, and Automatic actually gets snubbed out by Pasha. Still, the CT's trying to encapsulate the bomb site, and now that bomb has gone down, but as has Mihu. So it will be the man advantage for Cloud9 on the retake. Player up from Catwalk actually comes in a little early. Nobody was there to trade him, but luckily, it is still cut down to the 1v1. They could still finish this off, but a single shot is all it takes either way. Beautiful headshot from Rush, nice pistol round clutch, and that's what you want on this CT side.
That's something you can always count on Rush for, stay 100% concentrated no matter what the circumstances, and even though he got rocked there by that one headshot, moving over to the side, it was fully well aware of the fact that a repeak might come in, and being out in the open and having someone peek you and being low HP, all those things can put someone off kilter, but he stayed 100% ready, you know, the entire time. And he also picked up that kill on the player crossing window. And just as you mentioned, we saw Golden out in the open on Cat, and he thought, wow, he's alone right now, and his teammates aren't set on retaking the site. They should probably be out there with him, and that's probably true. You know, he got out far enough that there was no going back. If he gets peeked, he's gonna have to fight. But now we're into round 2, we can kind of forget about that. Snatchy's going full force into A.
Yeah, talking about having to fight. I mean, he's got fire behind him, 2 opponents ahead, and Mihu gets in here just to help out with the process. A rather clean-cut process coming in from Virtus.Pro.
What a buy. It seemed like they had the economical disadvantage going into the round, but because they went full frontal with these 2 AKs and pushed their way into A, I mean, all Cloud9 saw were rifles that round.
Yep, beautiful. Excellent buy, excellent upset. They just took back all the momentum they could have hoped for. That one kind of leaves you breathless.
Yeah, a little bit speechless for sure. Round 3, well, we have the conversion back. Cloud9 obviously going to be tempted to buy to try to steal back the momentum. In situations like this, when teams lose the second round, it seems like a tilt to go and try to buy back when you have such low money, but there's always the prospect of catching the other team also having not the best buy ever. And there is definitely great value if Cloud9 are able to steal this one. So the economic game of chicken is what we're witnessing. And Virtus.Pro are going to be aware at this point, hearing that scout go off, that Cloud9 have bought to 0. But mid-control is a great place to go when teams are low on utility. They're pressing that advantage, throwing their own smokes, retaining control of this part of the map. At a minute 20, they've got a lot of options.
They've got that apps player coming forward for Virtus.Pro. They've got Catwalk control in their hands, a 2-player connector push a possibility. The only place that they've actually given up the map control is by choice over on A. The retreat from the Palace player who has to go get bomb, but oh no, please not like this. They've already lost Snatchy over towards the B site, and that bomb will have to come back towards A. So sure enough, greatly done from Virtus.Pro. They do sell that fake. They get the entirety of Cloud9 rotating preemptively, and because of that, now that Virtus.Pro are committing to the A site, the defense is just out of line. The smoke's in their faces, and the inability to really contest, except for Rush, who would have had a chance at the flank. He's still in a great position, but he's got to reload, and the timing not going to play to his favor. 2 kills quickly back for Virtus.Pro into the 3v2. Scout still in play, and that's not the best weapon for a retake now, is it? Flusha on the site with a kit, 2 kills for him, but nobody's going to overface. Nobody wants to be that 3rd casualty for Virtus.Pro.
Slight bit more damage done at the end there, but Virtus.Pro cleaned it up, and there are so many great things that they did that round. I mean, even after they lost the first player, and it seemed like, all right, this is another round where the team who has the firepower advantage just completely fluffs it, but they went ahead and pushed into connector so quickly that Cloud9 couldn't make that gamble rotate to A fast enough, meaning that there was one player who got isolated, and they took a couple of risks, but they pushed in fast, and also Rush at A ramp. You know, when he was reloading a CZ, they just went ahead and double peeked him.
Yep.
That wasn't their part of the map, but that's the aggression that makes Virtus.Pro who they are, and I really like to see this kind of really decisive movement.
Very nice kills as well coming into the fourth one. It was supposed to be the fast mid clash, and fast it was. Clash not so much, a little one-sided. Still 2 kills though. You know, a little softening damage here versus VP, but they will be fine as we get back into the next buy.
Yeah, and speaking about clashes, Kalashnikov's out in full effect. Up on Snatchy, and we've finally got our feet planted on the ground. Virtus.Pro don't have to think about trying to collect all of those big dollars from SMGs. Instead, they can think about going up against Cloud9 on a rifle round. 2 teams on equal footing. Virtus.Pro slight advantage, and the immediate A hit to come out.
It's going to be a quick one once more. Snatchy leads the charge with an AWP. Now Rush is going to deal with Moros, who just quickly falls down from the Palace. A little disjointedness from him and Mihu. A third one for Rush. A single-handed defense coming in from beneath the Palace. Finally taken down by the AWPer, who falls just quickly right after. So nice attempt. Sure, VP, they want to take that quick charge, but nobody dealt with Rush.
Yeah.
No Molotov underneath. Snatchy was so fixated with that AWP that he's not doing any support nades for the players falling down.
Yeah, and that Molotov has never been easier to throw. There's ways to do it once you're up a ramp, as Snatchy was leading, and there's also a way that you can throw it running from Palace now that they added a groove into the wall, but they Virtus.Pro did not use that, which is kind of interesting, and that allowed Rush to flourish. I mean, he still got those 3 kills as one-on-ones straight up. Like, he had a 50% chance of losing each of those duels, especially after he was spotted. But even still, they should have been able to trade, and they definitely should have used their utility. Now we are into another rifle round as Cloud9 have earned their way back into this game. And Virtus.Pro have their eyes set on what looks like a late mid control. But the bomb station at top mid doesn't tell you exactly what site that they have postured to try to hit. They might be playing it by ear at the moment in their default. Initial flash goes out to mid, and Pasha is going to go ahead and complement that with a connector smoke. Golden being in the middle of these 2 is super important, because now that smoke is thrown as a cancel, Cloud9 still aren't denied the information completely, right? There isn't someone who's going to potentially sneak up into here, and he can tell his team that.
Oh, Golden, very aggressive. Just wants to be thrown out into mid, tries to duel, but will fall to the man at the top. So now Pasha's got a little bit more space to work with. He's waiting for the smoke to fade, but it doesn't look like he's going to be challenged anything further. You'd think that the connector players, and even those towards Cat, would just kernel up on the bomb sites. They're not going to be able to go for a rotate and a pure total gamble stack, but with 30 seconds, you know that bomb and execution are inbound. It is an inevitability. And Rush, inevitably, will make contact on ramp. And this is a position that could catch him off guard. You could see Snatchy trying to clear the corner, but Rush with a slight off angle will get the best of him. And now this is a thorn in the side of his execution once again. Rush will fall after 2, but it leaves us in even ground. With the bomb going down in just the nick of time, Mihu covers cross, but the trajectory of the Molotov tells him they are here. And that burns Morals into the open. And then VP burn Cloud9. 2 kills immediately off of that utility, finding them in no man land, and taking, of course, a 4th.
Rush has looked like a human aimbot in this map so far, with his A-holds being all alone, getting 2-3 kills at a time. But just as you said, Virtus.Pro played that extremely well. You love the patience for Morals to get Molotovs out of position, but not immediately going for the wide swing, which would have been totally expected, and instead just having it push him out as far as he must go, and then finally going out after taking a little bit of damage. Just off-put Cloud9, who I think thought they had him dead to rights. Now Skadoodle from the top of the rails gets caught falling off. It's an eco round for Cloud9. And Virtus.Pro are in prime position to clean this up cleanly.
But they're going to pause, take a slight breather. And this does give a bit of a chance now for Cloud9 to throw a wrench in the works. You see that Cat player getting a little curious. You see Golden with eyes on window, in case he has to deny any kind of a boost. But once more, Virtus.Pro standing back. Pasha's been a key piece to this underpass to connector play. Also take note that bomb is currently down towards T-spawn, so they're not going to be able to pull the trigger on this one just yet. And that is buying time for the rotation. Despite Golden just being blasted by Snatchy, this now opens up the A site. Once more, we're going to get a chance here where VP could have gone B, but will look to just change direction. The old 1-2, the ruse, that's left Flusha completely stranded and all alone. Done and easy. Good anti-eco.
for those of you wondering, because that was just an eco round. Virtus.Pro played it quite... I mean, they just played it quite patiently. They got all their kills while still standing at mid, so not even having to move directly into the bomb sites. And Snatchy, as now we're seeing in the replay, that's how he kind of got his, just catching and abusing all those rotations. But the spot that Flesh was playing, it's like you almost never see someone standing on that side of the pillar, and he was taking a bit of a gamble. If someone will come up cat, they'll immediately clear empty pillar because it's a stronger position to hold the site from. But now we're into another rifle round, so we have time to talk about it. Rush also kicking it off at a fiery pace.
Another one of those moments where Snatchy's supposed to be the player to just charge out A ramp. What do you feel about that? An aggressive opper out ramp, now twice in the first 8 rounds.
I think that's the Virtus.Pro way, and although this is a game of probabilities, I think that stylistically that's something that Virtus.Pro feel like they need to do, I think, to get started, and I like that they're going off the momentum that we've seen in these past 2 rounds where they have had a high pace.
What I find difficult about it, however, is that we've seen this consistency from Cloud9 in playing players underneath the balcony, and I feel like that's one of the hardest counters to the op walking out from ramp, because you need to be fully exposed to the entirety of the open, to the stairs peak, to site, and you're just so fixated on what is a very tight and narrow headshot angle.
Yeah,
so
Rush does have the bricks to abuse, as you're saying, so it's a harder shot for the op to hit than the guy from under balcony, but it depends if Snatchy is like, you know, I have the confidence I'm going to get this kill. I know where Rush is playing this round is another thought potentially.
Yep.
But yeah, it is also a huge amount of value to lose this early on. And as you can see, Cloud9 has converted the second off already and have the 5v4.
So off the flashes, it's going to be the full straight-up B commitment. All 4 players coming out now from the apps, taking damage with frags and bullets alike. Automatic falls, Mihu with a double. And he has statistically been one of the best players in this newest iteration of Virtus.Pro. We look at the newest additions in the form of Snatchy and Morals, but Mihu's already starting to prove himself as a key piece to this core.
I think Golden just hit a really nice shot. We could only see it on the X-ray. It appeared that someone was clipped out of the sky.
Let's see if he gets himself another, because this is 2 snipers walking up. I think that's why it's a slower pace being set. They have lost the rifleman. A second goes down. Neo coming in quickly from the archway. A flawless hold there once the first kill's found from Golden. 6 for Virtus.Pro. This T-side really coming together for them.
Easily one of the most powerful positions for a player to float to in a afterplant situation. It's kind of an expected position for people to be in, but there are so many uses for it. And there we get to watch that extremely nice frag go to waste in this round as Neo cleans up in the afterplant situation. But there are so many options you can use with that pillar that is, again, completely impenetrable. So playing the left side or the right side, being able to watch the window jump out or catch anybody even coming up cat from kind of a favorable position are all strong ways to abuse Get Right.
Pistol round, a little bit of desperation from Cloud9 in the form of an underpass push. A process that was rushed. Snatchy gets automatic.
Snatchy knows where to look. He's getting multiple kills versus pistols with this op, which is kind of interesting. We're not seeing a ton of flicks from him either, which you don't have to remember a Snatchy flick to be able to say that he's a valuable player. If he's not having a flick for most of his frags and he's having a lot of impact, that just shows you that he's a smart opper.
Smart and very impactful. I feel like throughout the rise of AGO, he was most certainly their star. I mean, we saw Virtus.Pro's performance at the Major when Bialy was still in this lineup, and I would say that despite his absolute best efforts, Snatchy was not enough to make those games a win. But he definitely put up numbers. He's constantly finding impact, and now another. This is great. How often do you see an anti-eco like this with all the frags being fed to the opper?
Almost never, right? That's just and it's not exactly like favorable in terms of like how much you get per kill for him to be having these frags, but I think it's like so impressive that it overshadows those numbers. So Virtus.Pro come out with another one where they don't lose a player, and that's another risk you run if you have a rifle to get those kills, that they might end up actually dying. And now the rebuys are less than 1,000 as they just have to pick up some leftover grenades, and Virtus.Pro are starting to run away with this half so far.
2 rounds for Cloud9, neither of which consecutive. So reset right after winning pistol. They got a second dose of the medicine, 5 rounds deep. And they are back in with a bye. So speaking of Snatchy's opping, just to take note, we look at the op versus op scenario right now. Skadoodle is still without a frag, but he is now equipped with the cannon, and he's been given a chance. Mihu was just crossed over on the box, but nice timing with the utility here. This is good team play from Virtus.Pro in mid. Pasha once more being that lurk at the bottom. He would love for Skadoodle to just present his face on a silver platter. The smoke and connector allows for him to elevate his own sight line, giving himself vision of catwalk. That now lets the top mid players move forward. Poor Skadoodle's just being pelted by grenades, not quite sure where to watch. The possibility of a boost could already be there, but it's only now coming in. And there it is. He's on the board. First frag versus Mihu. Automatic. He's distracted with the mid play, but there's a man just next to him.
Oh my god.
Pasha biceps caught by the trigger discipline. Punished for it. Snatchy at a clutch attempt with Morals now. Man down, but they're evening this pretty quickly. Sure enough, the bomb belongs to Cloud9, but let's see what the new kids on the block has to say about it. I don't think he anticipates this close position from Rush. Almost stops it.
Yeah, did his due diligence at least. Went to look for the frag, but man, full control goes too far.
Yeah, exactly, right? You're looking for a round-winning play.
Yeah, I mean, you always risk just like ending up in the FOV of another player if, like, depending on how far behind them you can get. And right there was just kind of like this right angle that he was trying to game and maybe a little bit too hard. But there was probably a second there where Pasha decided to turn his gun, where maybe if he just stayed looking at him and Rush looked over, he'd still win the duel and wouldn't have looked that bad doing it. But but still, Pasha has been very important at mid. Him taking underpass and the way that he's approaching it is very standard. He's walking there. His teammates are waiting for him to throw the connector smoke to come up top mid. Then they're smoking the window as he does a boost or tries to get connector control in response. And that's speeding up the round for Virtus.Pro in a way that Cloud9 need to not let happen. If they're throwing grenades underpass, if they're trying to kill him underpass by actually rushing it, those are all going to be ways that might work out quite well for Cloud9, and they'll leave Virtus.Pro a little bit confused in the mid round once they can't take mid so easily.
Still going to be Pasha middle, but he's coming at it from a different direction. Alone as well. Flush up now with a double op setup. Him and Skadoodle equipped because of the one they retrieved. So Virtus.Pro's buy has come back to bite them.
Now, Pasha can lurk around mid, but his job gets a whole lot harder with teammates dead. The adjustment here in the 3v5 is for Virtus.Pro to come back to A. And I'd like to know if they're going to go with a high utility execute or if they're going to try to do some contact play. In situations like this, you know, you can never have too much utility. And so if you can get away with something that's a contact play, it makes sense to try to do some kind of walkout, especially if you know they might not be opping that spot. They did see Flusha over at B. Skadoodle, they don't have info on where he's playing. But now we're going to see how it plays out.
Golden, 2 from Golden. Bomb thrown out in the process. So Pasha's position revealed. And a 1 versus 5 clutch attempt for him. With no bomb possession, just does not look all too great. Now, this was my big question, right, with Cloud9 coming into the event, was how much how much is he going to get to do? What is he going to be doing? And I like that we're already starting to see him trying to be thrown into the double op setup. Like, that's a core element to a good CT side. It's a nice trick to have. And those were 2 beautiful shots.
He looked very confident.
Yeah.
The instant repeak. He could have died on that second repeak. He had to hit a little bit of a flick, but he committed and he delivered. And
one of the conversations we were having, you know, just on the sidelines before this event got started was sort of how Flusha is I'd say, a better fit to what Cloud9 need than, say, Stiko. I think Stiko's an incredible player in his own regards, but I don't think Stiko makes that play. I don't think Stiko repeaks that.
I don't think Stiko gets the keys to the op. I feel like if you know, coming in as a new guy on a team, you wouldn't actually expect them to ask for such liberties. I feel like, but having the confidence to do that when you know it's the correct thing to do is, I think, something that a player with the stature of Flusha might try to ask for. And in his position, I think that's exactly what maybe Cloud9 are looking for. Maybe that's why the stylistic differences became too much between them and Stiko. And the agency that Flusha is showing and delivering on it is looking really nice right now.
That's the second or third time now Skadoodle's position has been nullified by the flash, allowing for the first player to cross over into the boxes, which then is followed up by what has been a flurry of utility, just forcing his feet even further back. Think about the way he was isolated in ladder room because of a Molotov and frag. This time, the moment he gives up that angle, he's gone. He's reeled back from catwalk. He realizes what would probably be the next piece of that mid-control puzzle. But Morals, despite having an excellent position, a very heads-up play coming out from Virtus.Pro, it's still denied. Automatic gets the best of him, takes damage back in return. 9 health the difference, but now he's swapped to the AWP.
You can see from the placements of the HEs on this round that Cloud9 were in tune with exactly what Virtus.Pro's plan was, throwing the nades in front of connector, throwing one into underpass. That kind of unfortunately landed on the lip by the wall and didn't do any damage, but Automatic, even the way that he just kind of crouch slid into that angle, knowing that a boost might be there waiting for him, just shows that this is what they have to deal with right now. A lot of mid presence from Virtus.Pro, and it's looking a lot better now for Cloud9.
Peeks into the Molotov, Golden with an excellent little kill, but in the meantime, it's allowed for this push-up from Virtus.Pro. They cross from the staircase, they get into the sights of Automatic, who gets himself a second, dies to the flying Neo. But 15 seconds the difference, and the bomb's sure enough on his back. He needs to plant. And the peek from the CT spawn off of Flusha will come in. He's unprepared for it. Isolates the kill. I like that from Neo. Tries to catch one off guard. And sure enough, he does it. But it's just a numbers game at the end of the day. And numbers are what Cloud9 still do not have. It's a 2-point deficit to Virtus.Pro's favor. But at least it's enough of a CT side that they can still get back this lead.
They're certainly looking like a whole lot smarter in these last couple of rounds. They've found an answer for the Virtus.Pro, who were just constantly abusing mid. And now they can kind of take that and run with it.
And it's also 2 rounds back-to-back now where we've seen Cloud9's secondary opper, be that Flusha at B or Automatic on A, get a multi-frag on the execution. So Skadoodle's initial mid-positioning, right, that star opper, that first bit of contact hasn't gotten much, but because they have this secondary opper floating, that's 2 important rounds that they've picked up off the back of it.
Interesting to see now what Virtus.Pro are going to do, since mid is not necessarily off the table, but maybe just for the meanwhile, while it's become a little bit more obvious, and because, you know, Cloud9 are going to expend more utility than normal, trying to stop you, maybe we try to change it up, shake things up, and go for a straight-up sight hit.
This one looks pretty straightforward. The old classic A execute. Skadoodle tries to get inside of the bomb site, will peek off of the side of Triple Box, and he's still standing there. Not necessarily serving as a distraction. Miho gets beneath Rush, his feet blasted off, and Skadoodle finally starting to come into the round. He's dealing the damage, but he just can't get a second kill. A single one from him. And Golden, with eyes over the staircase, catches the head of Morals. That's great, because a second one from him as well. The multi-kills are looking so good. Automatic finds fruition. Snatchy finds nothing, not even a cross to the bomb site. They take one to the chest, and Cloud9 close that gap with yet another.
Definitely looks like, Connor, that this is a game of abusing patterns, right? Like the fact that they are trying to target Pasha at mid, and that every time they come out of A ramp, they're specifically looking for Rush almost every single time. You know, even throwing their opper on that one round to go up and try to like immediately op him in an unfavorable spot. That round, they just literally came out, sprayed under the balcony, and seemed confused about the fact that Rush wasn't there. Seemed so sure that he was going to end up in that position, and maybe that was one of their initial plans, was to, after they had that information, to leave A for a little bit, get Rush back into old habits, and then try to target him once again. That's something that we'd probably have to, you know, run by the team that wins potentially to see if that's actually what their line of thinking was, but it seems like a smart strat, and Rush wasn't under balcony, but he was on top of it, and they did target and take him out.
Yep. I think that this double op has been the key to Cloud9 nearly securing a state of on fire. They are 1 round away, filling the bar, and that 1 round began with a double op setup. From that point on, they have not lost a round. Flusha's going to be a little pressured here, but he lays down the fire, giving himself a bit of space to work with.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, showing hesitation, being worried, but not getting too scared and actually falling off his spot.
And because of that, the T's get convinced to fall away. And now Skadoodle, over on A, has managed the frag towards Neo. They've been denied entrance on both extremities of the map, be that Apps and Palace. Finally, we see something go the way of Virtus.Pro, but it's only in the form of a frag versus Golden. The T's should still be boxed in. A duel happening in both jungle and ramp. And there, it looks like it's both going to go Cloud9's way. Blinding flashbangs, there you have it. Cloud9 now on fire.
On fire. Damn, I really want to watch that flick back. Skadaddy with the golf swing. A player crossing across apartments, and definitely one of the players that's been called into question the most. Maybe just overall on the team. And he had 0 kills in this game until maybe like 5 or 6 rounds, but with shots like that, you wonder how that even happened. You know, I don't know if it's a confidence thing or if he's just finally back into it, but first or second round of matches on day 1 of Blast, and teams are still getting warmed up. Situation now with mid control is that Cloud9 are not too pressed about it. Mihu sees an opportunity. Golden does not spot the shoulder as Mihu runs up into the site, but he might die to these flames as he gets tagged down and is hindered in his movement.
Whoa, he just loses 90% of his health to that one single incendiary. Sure, he gets the kill, which is great, but it has cost him a lot of health, and unfortunately for Virtus.Pro, they then lose the duel towards ramp. So now all you've gotten is a 4v4 scenario where Mihu sits on a sliver of health. But the head boosts go both ways, through the window and onto catwalk. They will spot nothing for the time being because mid has been completely forfeited from Cloud9.
The 4-on-4, the ultra passive setups, and we're seeing these similar setups the way that Nip played it, where they don't move a lot. They talk a lot about what they're going to do in the 4v4, and they kind of stick to the game plan until somebody activates one of the Cloud9 players. Automatic will probably be that guy as he catches the cross onto the A site. It's going to be known from Virtus.Pro that this is what's happening, but it's incredibly hard to break a passive setup, especially when the numbers are a little bit lower.
Yeah, I think if you apply pressure towards apartments like what we're seeing right now, that's how you get Automatic out of that core anchored spot. You see him coming over towards bench now. So we're going to get the Colonel defense. First they give up middle, and now they have to give up the rotator in through jungle as well. It has to just be a solid hold from either side of the map, and it will be A in question. Rush immediately finds himself the second. Bomb confirms that this is the execution forward from Virtus.Pro, and they are running out of time, desperately trying to grasp onto this. It is only Mihu left, only 1 HP, and an 8th for Cloud9 to close it. The moment they get those double ops, it is 6 rounds straight.
Not even a need to try to kill after time, just last round of the half and an easy tag and back. That's it. They actually come out numerically ahead now, and we move into the second half with Cloud9 feeling confident and on fire, as you mentioned. It's been a very relevant thing to talk about, as we can see how the momentum has really played into the favor of the team that has made a comeback, or has just started off strong in the first place. A lot of pistol round options for Cloud9. I actually like a lot of what Virtus.Pro do, and I haven't seen a lot from Golden, who is obviously now the IGL for the team. It's like what he likes to try to pull off, but what I'm more interested in is what Virtus.Pro are going to do to start things off. Are they going to go for a double B push, or are they going to try to take mid control early on, which has become increasingly more powerful on the pistol rounds where teams don't have much utility to stop you, and USPs are afoot. 2 crossing a window. Cloud9 up a ramp.
Moral's first contact, sees a couple bodies, sees a couple smokes. And then you see the CT player just completely eject. I like that smoke. It lands on the staircase so that nobody can play on the other side of it, but a terrorist can jump from Tetris onto the top staircase and actually pry over. It's a nice little tidbit. So you saw the little bit of aggression. And now you're going to start to watch these kills. It's a head stack in spawn. This is so kerneled from Cloud9. A run boost even. They just throw him to his death. Flusha, last man up, P250 in hand, cannot tag Pasha. And we're already having this defuse come through under a blanket of smoke.
It was a nice attempt. They knew they had to get T control, and if you sit and hold your angle in expected spots, you'll almost always lose those duels. So even though they went for the tiny catapult a teammate into a bunch of CTs, there was actually some thought behind the madness, and it was just good aim that bailed Cloud9 out in that situation. That's the, ooh, that got hairy face.
That's the, ooh, I didn't expect to get run boosted into 3 counter-terrorists.
Yeah.
You get one guy, I think that actually goes well. But alas. We've got an auto shotty on the field. We've got rifles in mid. Nice shots from Pasha. He's running out of ammo now, so the sidearm swap 2. There's the 4th, not the 5th. Snatchy's gonna grab it.
Yeah, clean anti-eco. And mid-control was something that they use also on the pistol round. That was quite interesting because of the tempo that Cloud9 came out with the extreme A rush, or the really early A rush. It made it so that the fact that Virtus.Pro were going to get info in like 2 seconds didn't even matter. And I really like for CTs to go for mid-control at times, but a lot of the time it's very T-sided to take these angles, whether you're doing it dry or with utility, just because you have this high-low advantage. You're swinging on players who are out in the open. It's not a lot of utility in terms of cover for CTs to use when they want to try to defend aggressively, if you will. And now we've got 4 players congregated towards the A site. Neo up in the A ramp, looking for action. But he doesn't want to get too frisky. And he's actually kind of expendable in this round. He gets info early. He hopefully gets 1 kill. Maybe trades and does 30, 40 damage. That's a successful round if it is going to be an A take. But how long will they stay in a situation where they are leaving 1 player on an island? Now, how much faith are they going to have that B will be held and that it's not going to be some contact flash play out? That we'll find out. Window completely evacuated.
Pasha's going to be very useful inside of the apartments, but what happens if he gets called back into the B site because of a catwalk push? What happens if he has to rotate through market and starts dueling over towards CT spawn? I mean, that weaponry is going to make him useless. So the only use that Pasha actually has is whether he can just kernel up and defend this B site from within it. And it doesn't look like that's going to be happening. It's inside connector. The T side does go. 3 frags straight for Virtus.Pro. And a couple more to come. They're being isolated and stagnated here inside connector. Snatchy just falling off angles, distracting for Mihu. It looks so pristine.
Distracting was the key word. Even Morals, who is inside of connector, like, he gets his 1 kill, but immediately an off shot comes out behind him, and then that trend continues as nobody expects there to be a 3rd player in the A ramp of all places, with 2 players dedicated on the site already, and that's a kill for Neo. No questions asked, leaving Cloud9 bewildered and 2 rounds behind.
I love that once you see Snatchy get that first kill inside of connector, his attention immediately turns towards Palace, but once he sees that it is still smoked, that's what affords him this consistent connector control. That's why he's allowed to just give up his back, because he knows he has teammates there if he does get swarmed by the connector push, and the utility that they've thrown out completely limits what Cloud9 can do to him. So he was comfortable. Unlike Rush, just blown out of his seat, airbagged into the door frame. Neo gets ejected off CT spawn, and then Golden falls straight after. So despite only having pistols, there's still a little bit here for Cloud9 to play with. Maybe they get lucky and can find Mihu as well.
Oh my god. But Morals is here. The Zamboni on an ice rink. The cleanup crew.
Ooh. Give us one more. Just one more.
I set myself up for failure. I should have came through with the Zamboni at the end, I feel like, to the icing on the cake. Or the icing on the rink.
So that's even a play on words, too. That was it, man.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give you like 75 on that one.
Give me a few more rounds. I'll get it together. Virtus.Pro in prime position now to really seal this one up. I feel like they called out Cloud9 with the 4A play on CT side. They ran a risk, and it feels like it's just like a game plan thing because they didn't have the information. It was the first rifle round of the half, so it seemed like they were going off a tendency, and Skadoodle actually hit that. Just enough damage to scare you a bit as you cross connector. I don't think he knows that there's a hurt player on A, but still, it might pay off if this round becomes close. Flusha working B like he did on the CT side, and alone like he always does. Would like to know what he can get out of this in a default, because we really haven't seen that from Cloud9 quite yet.
I think, again, the question mark will be this connector exit. How much further can you get? Because they haven't actually been able to cross to the bomb site from this play. They've been gunned down by the holds of the CTs, who now have gone and cleared ramp, so you're going to get that attention turned back towards middle. Mihu's still in a prime spot. They're going to go for the boost, but oh, it gets completely rejected. Rush, staying true to his name, just flies around the corner. They are caught with their pants down and around their ankles. Mohan, they tripped up, and they were pushed over. 5 versus 3 after plant. This is a save.
There was soap on the floor, and they were tempted. We've all been there.
Quite literally.
Quite literally. That was a matter of timing, unfortunately.
Yeah.
You know, they caught completely off guard, but it was because they had the assumption that maybe if we boost one up on bricks, we get a kill from Cat, and you can fall off really easily from that position. So it's not like a one-and-done spot, but Cloud9 just, I guess, were just decisive enough and fortunate enough to just like get there right when they were in the middle of it. And now looking for exit frags is obviously kind of tempting, but it's Cloud9 who are still on the back foot, so they, I guess, want to be careful about how they approach that. Don't want to risk getting opt, for example. That would be a huge waste, but yeah, there it is. What are you supposed to do if you're Mihu? That's how we shouldn't be showing gamer face on stream. I feel like we've all been there too.
Yeah, when there's suddenly 2 players around a corner. And Mihu underneath as well, not even looking for the cat push. His back quite literally turned.
Yeah, I think he had an angle to just at least like hold on to apps for a second a little bit.
Yeah. Just not, again, expecting that. Timing, the name of the game in the previous round. Ooh, misflick shot from Snatchy. Looked close.
It did really look close for some reason.
But this is a really fast one. Cloud9 going into that mid-control that we've seen from them, but doing it so much faster than in previous rounds. And it looks like they could just continue with this pacing.
It seemed like a split second there where they almost changed their minds, but they're back in the connector, and they're letting it sit for a second. I really appreciate this. You know, Rush can move, and he is low, and he was getting spammed and probably would have died if he stayed. But overall, they can kind of sit and wait just a little bit. They've still got an op. They've got plenty of time, and they have so much map control. This is the best R2 round you could ask for.
I feel like Skadoodle is anticipating this peak because Neo dinked somebody through the wooden window, which means they're gonna be tempted to do exactly that, but they're not supposed to blast him back. Skadoodle's not supposed to have his forehead sprung wide open.
Oh, man. Pasha's here looking for the crazy flick, potentially. But no challenger has arrived.
And that's heard. Neo definitely gets wind of this proximity. It's confirmed by the flashbang. Virtus.Pro have been put into a fantastic spot because of Neo, and now Pasha with him. The vets of Virtus.Pro winning a round, I would argue, that all of a sudden looked like Cloud9 were about to take it, and that's not a good look for Cloud9. That is, again, a reset.
Yeah, and Pasha's looking super strong. He's, you know, leading in frags, and he's had variable impact throughout these rounds. This one was nice. Oh my goodness. Looks so much faster from Skadoodle's perspective, but that's the advantage of peeking first, obviously.
It looks like Skadoodle's bullet actually careens just off of the metal portion of the box in front of him. So.
Oh, you think he actually took that shot? Oh.
I thought a shot happened there. I could be very well wrong. But this one, I don't think I am wrong, is going to be the A hit. This is super straightforward from Cloud9. They're already just pummeling their way out from ramp. Snatchy's going to miss what could have been a key shot. Would have established a 5 versus 4. Snatchy just then hits the floor. Golden, beautiful, right through the smoke. And a bomb plant off the back of it. We just talked about how Cloud9 were about to eat a reset. I love the fact that they come into this round, one that they should most certainly win, one that you'd think would create an aura of caution, and yet they come in guns a-blazing. The trail set on fire as they flooded forward. Now, it's the CTs back into the site that they once owned. Neo with a kill, sure, but the trade frags are looking fantastic. It does fall onto Rush, and it is Mihu on the other side. A 2K for Mihu already established. He's going to jump up. It's confirmed and killed. The defuse is his, and VP win the retake.
Just barely. If Mihu had not finished that frag with that headshot wallbang through a very dense box, I don't think there was any chance he would even be able to defuse that, even if he got the kill on Rush.
Even just going for that jump peek to confirm the player cowering in the corner. I mean, Rush is given a chance at the kill right there. But then he wins the duel. His feet hit the ground, and he hits the shot.
That's such an important round. Like, we look at that as a round that Cloud9 they had in spades. In the previous round, I mean, they had the 5v3, and Virtus.Pro won it. Okay, they came back with the same ferocity. And they came out in the A site, and they fragged, they got the bomb down, they had plenty of time left, and it came down to literally the last few moments. But at this point, Cloud9 are almost out of chances. Virtus.Pro seal up a key one, and now are up on the double op setup once again. It's not getting any easier. There's even the thought that Cloud9 are saving here, which is just A travesty, honestly.
Yeah,
considering
because
how close they came.
The win in the previous round would have been the reverse reset, right? And then we're looking at a smashed economy for Virtus.Pro. We're looking at Cloud9 on double digits and only 2 points away. That one round just now, that was pinnacle. That was a pinnacle retake from Virtus.Pro. And they looked confident in their retake attempt as well. 3 guys just flying up through CT. The trade frag so back and forth. For a moment, you know, you're kind of left bewildered. You don't know how many players are still left up until it's clear it's 1v1 and the tone and the tempo changes.
From here, they must develop. Mac-10 out into the B site. It's a story cut short. Neo just clotheslines him, trying to get too aggro.
Now they've probably heard the footsteps come past. Neo caught in the open, actually. Mihu's unable to support that initial peek, and now Mihu as well is kind of standing in no man's land. Flusha with a very important push towards the marketplace. This puts things in question, and now he gets confirmation that Snatchy is also here. But the AWP, it is so tantalizingly close. He can taste it.
I think he was spotted there, too. Wow.
And then he wins the duel. Beautiful opping from Flusha. Again, not the first time we've seen it here on Mirage. This is a saving grace. This is the sort of round Cloud9 had no business winning. And it's not one that puts them in the driver's seat, but it's one that does keep them on the road.
It totally saves their economy, too. And now Morals is kind of running away. Cloud9 want this kill, but they've got to go up against... You know what? How much money do Virtus.Pro actually have? They think next round there's a small chance they don't even buy. Wow, that's more than a critical eco round at this point. This could kind of push Cloud9 almost back into tying up. Barring one more rifle, I mean, at that point, it's anyone's game. So as you can see, firepower is definitely in the favor of Cloud9. And Virtus.Pro are investing somewhat, however. So
this is the scenario they could have afforded had they won that gun round in the previous.
Yeah, this is a Gohan with one arm versus Piccolo. Please tell me you want Dragon Ball Z.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, that fight's still that's still a harder fight than like Krillin. I was waiting for the Krillin reference.
All right, yeah. Freeze up next.
In the next episode. Quick kill. Goodbye, Morals. Nice little peek from the underpass. Whoa, boy. Rush is actually going to fall. That could be an easy upgrade. Neo does land the jump, and that could put him in position fast enough to try and contest at B, but nope. He'll fall back right into the lying weight of automatic.
Oh, it's making a lot of noise. Pasha's certainly going to cap that one. Yeah, no problem. I'll snatch it here. The most popular place to hold on to B if you're all alone. With Pasha to watch the cross as well, it could get interesting.
Can't land his pistol shots. He will be given the back of the bomb planter. But Flusha cleans up both. Flusha definitely finding his impact here in the first game with Cloud9.
Yeah, very true.
Or second.
Second, actually. Yeah, I don't know how well he did in that previous match, but still a lot more to show. Obviously, you know, first game back, don't want to take too much from that. But yeah, they get those 2 kills on the B side, which they were both sitting on, which Cloud9 would have totally avoided if they knew they were there. And suddenly it's a 2-on-1 for Virtus.Pro, so they can pray to the floosh. Those 2 frags. And now another save for Virtus.Pro. Full on this time. Neo with a couple of flashbangs. But it seems like, do they want to set up for a mid push? Not entirely sure what the plan is, or if he just bought these because he had some money lying around. One goes out, and there it is.
Hits the mark. Even Rush is blinded over towards Catwalk. So sure enough, 1 pistol kill, but it is just then shut down and slaughtered. They line up for it as well. Pasha. Okay.
Discount called Zera.
And not going to end in the same result. This is not a crushing blow for Cloud9. This is just a little technicality, a cost.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. Cloud9 looking focused now. And with keeping 3 alive, it's going to do good for their economy, just about as good as it did from last round. Nice pistol round overall. I think if Virtus.Pro expected for mid presence to be taken, that a top connector smoke was going to be thrown. That's exactly where they wanted to throw the flash. And so it was probably better that they encouraged someone to try to come up and get this piece of map control for seemingly free. only to throw a surprise flash in their face.
Remember, of course, that in the first half, Cloud9 only won 2 of the first 9 rounds, and then still finished with that spree of 6. In this half, they get 3 of the first 9, 2 of which they're already sitting on, this most recent being a 3rd in a row now. So it's mirrored instances whereby Virtus.Pro are coming out hot. Nice angle, but not enough, just as of yet.
Yeah, and this is where Cloud9 need to take a deep breath, because they did their part winning the eco. They sealed up a couple of anti-ecos after that, but they haven't done a lot in terms of rifle rounds so far. Virtus.Pro should still feel very confident. And here's Morels kind of patrolling the A site from position to position. He's actually got 2 teammates playing up close, so they get this info early, and they have info on B. They've got too much info.
What do you do with it? Spread your numbers thin. Pasha completely untradeable here. Flash comes inwards. Ooh, and it's Golden who goes down. Pasha even gets his gun back up. Second frag is his. Superb. And a deep smoke on top of it. Ooh. He's playing with fire. Skadoodle's over there. But this is big, right? You've got a feeler on each side of the map. It was either ramp or apps. And Virtus.Pro, thanks to Pasha, not only picking up a 5v4, but a 5v3.
Typically, it's overly risky to try to push both sides of the map at once, but you kind of do have to keep it fresh every time you try something, and they weren't all the way pushed up A ramp, so they were just playing A slightly aggressively, but Pasha absolutely needed to be traded there, and he clearly didn't make it easy. He's only lost 25 health so far. Instant headshot on Flusha, who came in right after. Now Rush doing his rounds at A. He's going to peer into the window, just barely passing. Snatchy.
I love this. I love the way that they've managed to work themselves up through Connector. I mean, this puts it all on Morels, and down he's dropped. Automatic could hit this with a second headshot. It's just Snatchy, and sure enough, blink and you miss it. Cloud9 from a 3 versus 5 now have a man advantage in the after point. This deep into the game as well. This would be the round that ties things up. Fighting off the back foot, despite Pasha's best efforts, but Pasha himself not yet down. I spoke too soon. He is, of course, the next casualty. Automatic gets 3, Skadoodle the last. How have they managed that?
That was a beautiful play in those last few seconds where they had Automatic posted in a position where he can't fall back and not be exposed to Connector, so he's going to take a fight in CT, but he clearly signals for his teammate to flash after he does a couple of very clean shoulder peeks right here. The flash comes out perfectly. Pasha's blind for the full, like, 4 seconds, and he even has time to peek out after not immediately seeing his opponent, leaving Virtus.Pro totally confused.
You're seeing the frustration actually come out of VP here. Emotional animations. Both Morals and Neo now. Big pistol clash up at mid. Rush tries to bail them out, but this is 3 frags on just a straight up mid rush, bomb included. Flusha's footing not yet good enough to deal with it. But Golden cuts it into the 2v2. Look at your radar. Everybody creating a box right now. Coming in from different angles. And now the dust settles towards mid.
Fnatic versus Virtus.Pro. 2v2. What happens now? So Golden, it's Flusha communicates that he's probably tell Golden to wait while he seeks out his options. He's making his way around through a big rotate because it's the least scary, and it opens up options for later in the round, least expected spots to come from, and they have the time to do it. Ooh, he makes noise. What's the play here? Wants to pull attention away from the bomb, but Golden's not in position to actually do anything about it. Now, they're still trying to coordinate here, and it seems like they're going to coalesce at mid in just a few seconds. Bomb's still out of reach, and they don't know where the CTs are. Golden comes out wide on an angle. Mihu's just a little bit more ready.
And Flusha now knows he can trade to the player on the top of the box, but 25 seconds, not enough time, and he doesn't spot Morals. So Virtus.Pro pick it up, and for those of you that just joined us in that 2v2 from the secondary stream, that was completely pistols from Virtus.Pro. A 5-man mid-rush after being crushed economically by Cloud9. Like, what a way to swing it around. They throw a 5 versus 3, Cloud9 get the best of it, and then they go for the pistol rush and manage one back. I mean, this is just a blow-for-blow type boxing match right now.
Yeah, it's an absolute haymaker, and they did it. Just a series of P250 kills. all out at mid, 3-4 seconds into the hit, and it was just going to be a default for Cloud9. They thought they had all the space in the world. They thought they had 20 more seconds before anything crazy happened. And it was a great time for Virtus.Pro to act. They had a very successful eco in the past doing a similar play. And we're right about the fact that they could get away with it one more time. Cloud9 gone right back to the well. Into mid, taking control of it. And Virtus.Pro have just totally avoided anybody here. This setup has a ton of holes. I mean, there's nobody in window to watch window itself or anybody crossing window. This B player could get totally lurked upon. The Cloud9 or Virtus.Pro are just assuming they wouldn't try that right now. But it's on Cloud9 to find that information and act on it.
Morales is not going to go anywhere. Even despite having a player pushing up into ramp, he needs to keep eyes on Connector. Here come the kills. It's going to be 2 for Virtus.Pro before it's traded. Pasha revealed, has to deal with a lot of pressure, and he's running out of bullets. But he's got support from Market. That's Snatchy trying to find an angle. The A duel was won by Cloud9, so we are even 3v3, and Ska has landed the next one. Snatchy's could hit this collateral, but a great flashbang. Sure enough, they know he's there, but they can't deal with him? How is he still up? How is Snatchy doing this? He's cut it down to the 1v1. It's Skadoodle now up versus Neo. 20 seconds to plant, and he's not going to suspect the flank, so VP take 15.
In amazing fashion, too. What a way to do it. That's unreal. That was such a great take from Cloud9, I feel like, in those last couple of flashes that we saw. And wow, what a flick from Snatchy, who just, even though got completely blindsided and put out of position and fully flashed, still got the 2 kills that were incredibly necessary to make that flank so much stronger in the 1v1. So now we're now on round 29 for Cloud9. We've still got a chance to bring this to OT. This game is far from over as far as I'm concerned, but the main problem now is that they just don't have that many guns to work with. They've got a fair bit of utility, and Golden's here, who has also gained some information. Didn't even suspect that anybody pushed through this smoke and is actually going to use this opportunity to push it himself.
This has been heard, though. 100% heard. Off the frag, turns his shoulder, and then Mihu gets the best of him on the peak. That's 2 simultaneous frags now, fighting off the back foot. Cloud9 facing what would be their 2nd loss already tonight. But we have also watched them win 3v5s. This one's not looking as good. Flusha barely hanging on to his life. It has been taken, and as has this round. Skadoodle alone will fall, and Virtus.Pro picking up their win. Great starts to both of those halves. It almost seemed like an inevitability that VP would pick up this win, but man, did Cloud9 ever go swinging towards the end of things.
Yeah, that was an exciting match. Both rounds were extremely entertaining and very close, and I'm looking forward to seeing these teams play again.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing just more and more from this young talent of Virtus.Pro, right? Again, I feel like Morals, statistically speaking, has already kind of proven his worth. We know that Snatchy and AGO's system was very good, and we saw some great opping highlights in that matchup. I don't think he was pressured or tested as often as some of the other players, but when he was in those high-pressured and important moments, you saw what he could do in that B site.
So now I think we're going to throw it over to the C stream and see what they've got going on.
See you guys later.
The Brazilian/North American squad.
Yeah, it's been crazy. It was 8-7 in favor of MIBR at the end of the half, and then NIP won the pistol on the second half and just did a great job. They've been looking like an incredible team. MIBR, I don't know, this T side seems a little bit less dedicated than what NIP was showing us. I feel like NIP sort of made a plan and followed through, even if it was a rough start to some of those plans. Yeah. They kind of like just drove it all the way home in some of those T rounds.
Yeah, and they didn't do it in like 1st gear or something. That was 6th gear the entire way. They were so quick about what they wanted to do at any given time, and it really felt like MIBR felt flustered for a lot of the time on their CT side.
Yeah, because there are some teams when they play that T side, right? They end up looking for like, oh, we need an early fight. Let's win this first fight, and then we see what happens, right? NIB were just saying, we don't actually. We're fine with trading, 2 for 2, so it's a 3-on-3. We'll just do that, and then the bomb is down, and we'll try and go for it, and then
it's like the first fight they take is pretty much committing their entire team. It was just like, yeah, this is it. This is the big battle.
Really enjoyed that.
Right now, though, no investment really from the side of NIP. Deciding to basically play on the bit of a cushion they have going forward. Only res with that off save from the previous round. To be fair, still possible to get some work done with that as well. Right now, though, he's posted out towards that B bomb site. Not any MIB members nearby. Curious to see how aggro is actually going to be with this as well.
I like the idea of Rez having that orb over there. I mean, they've stacked 3 people in a position that maybe could be a bit scary, but yeah, I think this is a good idea. The only risk of putting the orb alone is if it dies, you can't really pick it up again. So
Yeah,
that's
very true. And I mean, I guess NIP probably won't shed too many tears about that, considering outside of just picking up ops every now and again on the CT side, they haven't really decided to invest all that much into snipers for the better part of this game.
Yeah.
So they'll probably be able to make it work regardless. Getright's getting really aggressive here in A-Halls. He's going to get a fair bit of information. It might be misleading information as well, though.
Yeah, he might be calling out, listen, there's really not much of a lean here on the A side when in fact 3 of them are coming up connector, so Forrest is coming back to check Lekros at CT spawn, Dennis by the window. They are kind of circling the bomb side right now, but they still need to win that first fight. That makes all the difference, and look at how close MIB are. No signal, no noise, right around the corner. Finally, he sees it, but it's going to be too late. Bomb will go down, Tarek with a big opening kill. Follow up here from Fur. It's not very common that you get to sneak that far in long range, and it's actually pretty impressive. Forrest landing the headshot, even reading the second fight, but Rez is going to be the last one, and he does not get to keep the AWP. 13-15, MIBR. They have a very, very good shot at bringing this to overtime right now.
They really do. NIP, though, they're actually going to opt to buy in here, yeah. A little bit surprised by that. Lekro obviously is able to get an op, some utility as well, but not necessarily the best of buys all around on their side.
Yeah, and I just remembered as well, there is no overtime. Just to...
Oh, yeah, that's a draw. Yeah, that's true.
So, obviously, that plays itself out in points instead. So,
yeah.
And that, I mean...
I guess for MIBR, they can be happy with that, obviously considering the situation they find themselves in, but obviously because they won their first match versus Cloud9 as well. For NIP, having been this close to potentially knock out MIBR as well, or not knock out, but, you know, get the W...
Yeah.
That means so much more to them, considering the fact that they did lose versus Space Soldiers.
Or later on in the group stage, if you end up in a position where suddenly you have a draw instead of a win, that could be the difference, right?
Yeah.
Only the top 2 teams make it out to the grand final. So, yeah, there's a lot on the line here. Every single match is going to have a huge impact on who gets to go play that best of 3 at the end of it. Of course, all the teams will be playing in the arena, which is still good fun.
Which looks super sick, by the way.
It's going to be crazy in there tomorrow, I can guarantee it. Getright alone on the A-bomb site. NIP not looking for a draw, looking instead for that win. Looks like an A execute from MIBR, not messing around here.
And they've found a lot of success towards A here on their T side, and again, we're seeing something that NIP found success with earlier on. Dennis posted up in the middle here. He's not going to find any sort of action. Instead, it's a pretty free passage for MIBR onto A. Getright nearly gets caught out. Still alive, though. So close to actually finding potentially 2 frags there. Red's gotten into a cheeky position here. Finds Tarek up in abs.
That is very hard. I mean, he got 1 kill, that's great, but he was trapped from so many different angles. And Dennis sneaking around. Cold Cirrus holding this position, but he's jumping as he comes around the corner, and that's a big problem. Dennis still going down, and Forrest out of bullets. 1 more would have done it against Fur.
Silence cold.
Yeah, it really is. That's an incredible peek there. Running through with the C-set 75. Forrest jumping on over. He's going to get caught midair. Another round, 14-15. Right on the edge are NIP, but their money is so broken right now. This could very well be a draw. And from MIBR's point of view, that would be... As you said, that'd definitely be a bit of a win right now. NIP, I think they must be frustrated.
Do you think Forrest gets that kill if he has the unsilenced Colt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he does.
Do you see any upside to the silenced Colt?
I can't...
Outside of personal preference?
No, I can't really play with it. Like, I know people... I get really upset when people kill me with it.
So,
So maybe there's like a... There's
mental edge?
Yeah. That really annoys me, but...
That is unfortunate. That could have been such a big swing as well. He knew, obviously you could tell he knew that the player from MIBR towards Tetris was low 1 HP, just diving after it. Because if he could get out of dodge from that point on, he could play the 1v1 and kind of reset everything.
Yeah. There was a lot going on in that round. I mean, Dennis got the kill on ramp, but then they couldn't really combine for the retake. Like, he got taken down almost immediately afterwards from Fur, I think. So that was unfortunate.
This time, though, not the buy you want to see if you're an NIP fan. Sees that on Forrest, UMP on Rez. Mag 7 on Lekro, Scout for Dennis, and not a whole lot of utility. Dennis is going to have to find some tags here.
And Dennis is kind of a crazy player, though. I mean, this is a sort of round where you'd want to see him jump around, even have a little bit of fun, you know.
Absolutely.
Get some random headshots.
All cold.
Yeah, it's a great angle, great off angle. Very hard to read if you're Forrest, and gets taken down. No challenge there. This A execute has been working really well for MIBR. You can't really blame them for returning to it round after round here. Especially now that NIP have very little to try and hold it off with. Get Right gets out of the fire. That's good news. Oh, there it is. Headshot for one. And Dennis, he's got one more shot at it. And Get Right's going to be taking down Tarek. They've lost Dennis to the fire in the meantime, and they know Get Right's in here. And they're just going to be crouching. It's a very smart play from Stewie. Looking almost impossible. Lancro going to be in a 1 versus 3. It's long range as well. Yeah, the USP might be even better for it. He's just charging in there. But there's no chance at all. 15-15. That is going to be the draw happening here between NIP and MIBR.
Yeah, very, very impressive stuff from MIBR to being able to bring that back from the brink of destruction, pretty much.
Yeah.
It was looking so solid from NIP almost from start to finish there, and yeah, finally we see that Molotov land where it's supposed to be. And NIP just seemingly didn't have an answer for these late round A takes from MIBR.
They really didn't. That's so impressive. And I mean, in terms of the leadership there on the MIBR side, that's pretty impressive, right? They actually lost a lot of rounds early on in the second half, and they managed to find their way back, just identifying there was a soft spot there.
Yep.
The mid sort of fight was won by NIP early on, right? So they said you can have middle, but then we'll take A.
Yeah.
So.
And with that, that's a draw, 1 point in the book for each team, but we'll be sending it off to a breaks. But stay with us. We'll be right back.
First one, a little bit of a delay here between the footsteps of NIP.
I can't believe how much I hate pressures of a new place roll my way. Jump to cover me. Oh, jump to cover me.
With Amazon Prime Video, you get the whole package. Drama, I Hate You Very Much, included. The latest Prime original series, Jack Ryan, included.
Paris was only the beginning.
Only on Amazon Prime Video.
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
Play it on the world's most powerful console.
Are you ready to battle? Show your skills live on Twitch, the world's biggest esports stage. Here is your chance to share in a $15,000 prize pool, plus the opportunity to represent Australia at the Predator APAC Championships in Bangkok, with $250,000 up for grabs. With entries open for everybody, now it's your chance to win. Who will be Australia's first PUBG champion? Tune in every week for the action.
Stylish on the outside, savage on the inside. Legion by Lenovo.
And Blast Pro series. That is the final game of the day that we just witnessed, ending in a tie. And obviously, this format, you know, we don't have to go to overtime or anything like that. So it's pretty clean, quick, and we love that. So we'll be moving on to day 2 after this. But I still have Tommy on the desk. Got one other special person with us. We've got Pasha. What's up, Papa?
Hello, guys.
You good?
Nice to see you.
You too. Nice victory there. You bounced back.
A long time no win, long time no win. This feels so good, guys. So good, really.
All that matters is the victory. Either way, let's check out all the victories that we had in round 2. We can bring up the entire results of that round that just went through. We saw Astralis, obviously. They're just having a really good time lately. It must be such a little luxury to be able to just start every single half 12-3 or something crazy like that. MIBR fights back to tie out NIP. Tommy, want to talk about that?
Lose both pistols, get a tie. I think that's a fair result and a best of 1 against a good team. And IP looked really good at the major. And what I said was in the green room when we were discussing this is, you know, the vetoes were done like 2 weeks ago, right? So I think some of the vetoes might have ended up differently if they were done now instead of.
We'll have some fun with that one tomorrow as well, because that'll be good. And then obviously with Pasha up here, we have Virtus.Pro winning 16-13 over Cloud9. You guys were known for a long time to be able to beat up on North American teams. You're back at it.
They're back.
You know, especially you know, we are the crushers of NA like teams like before. So right now we won, and let's celebrate this.
How's things been going? Tom and I were chatting with you. You know, at the boot camp, and you've just been saying it's a process to get back, but everything seems to be just feeling better in the team.
Yeah, we just came here straight from the boot camp. It was 7 days. We work a lot, really. I think this pays off for us. But you know, everything can happen. In the first draw, they give us Astralis, fresh champion, and I told the guys, maybe they are still drunk after the major, but no chance. It was 63 MVP.
That's not a bad guess. Maybe if they were, you know, Polish players instead of Danish players, it would have worked out for you. Can you talk a little bit about, you know, Snatchy, you know, in these 2 guys you've brought in, what you kind of saw in those guys to pick them to bring into this lineup?
Yeah, Snatchy, to be honest, it's a better sniper than me, better sniper than everyone in Poland. So we want to bring the best sniper to our team. MVP give us this opportunity. They pay money. They told us do everything what you can, back to the top level like you usually did. Yep. So we just call Snatchy and let's go. Let's make again great Polish team. And let's see. We need time. Everyone know it, and we'll see.
But you're on the pathway, and in regards to the new players, but it's you who are going to pick up the MVP for this matchup, Pasha. So congratulations, a nice big victory there. And yeah, that is a big win for you guys. Obviously, getting started after that tough opening map against the world champs couldn't have been fun. But here you are, 22 kills, baby.
Man. Long time I don't see 22 kills, man. Versus Astralis 8 kills, and it's 22. That's nice.
So we talked about this a little before starting, but like it must have been hard the last couple of months knowing you were gonna have to make a change, and then, you know, just kind of waiting to finally getting done and start playing again.
You know what? If I have like my my enemy, I don't wish him, you know, like this situation what we got in a VP. If you know that some player you play with him like few years and he gonna leave the team like 4 months before, you don't have a motivation to play. You still go to that match, you still want to do something, but you don't prepare 100%. And the atmosphere, to be honest, if you know someone is left, play for what? Play for what?
Yeah, kind of in the ground.
Yeah.
Either way, though, I mean, you said it's looking positive now, so this is all good signs. How is it with question with you guys who have been playing for so long, you and Neo, and obviously Cuban as the coach. Even you can extend that to Taz, who's now on another team. How do you guys keep up just the motivation on your own individual level to keep playing this deep into the game?
Right now, when we always struggle and bring new players, to be honest, I play just for them right now, because it's making me so sad. You know, they coming to the new lineup and everything gonna straight losing. So I give them we play with my heart to give the scores. You know,
right?
What I mean. We'll see, guys. We'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be a process, but we're happy we got that win today. Either way, we're going to have the lightning breakdown. She had a tough time making it through the first 60 seconds, but Anders does that all the time. So take it away, Adam, on the stage.
Thank you very much, fellas. I'm joined again by Potter here on the main stage. Some incredible games there. Once again, the lightning breakdown, okay? We're looking at MIBR versus NIP and Astralis versus Space Soldiers. Are you ready for this challenge?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Take it away.
Astralis versus Space Soldiers. I think actually Space Soldiers had a really slow start. In their first match, they had a nice start. Xantares was on fire, so that certainly helped them. But in this matchup, Astralis, they came in business as usual. Fairly easy match for them, to be honest. Space Soldiers never got anything going, so it's just business as usual. Now, MIBR versus NIP, that was an interesting matchup for sure. I thought MIBR actually wasn't going to make it out, but they made it competitive. They brought it back. They have ice in their veins. It was actually pretty impressive. They lost both pistols, and that's not boding well for them throughout this tournament. They haven't been winning pistols, but it's good that they actually managed to bring it back and tie it up with 2 pistols lost. So hopefully that helps push them through for the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. 7 seconds left. What's the worst smell ever?
BO.
Ever been to a castle?
Yes.
Great. Perfect. Lovely. Great. Perfect. Thank you so much. That was excellent. I loved it. And loads more lightning breakdowns coming our way tomorrow. So thank you very much, Christine. Back over to you guys.
There she is. She's back on track. And she really, Tommy, she emphasized, and you weren't getting annoyed by this at all when we were watching the game, a lot of those pistol round losses from MIBR. What's going on?
Well, very few people can not get annoyed like me, so that's that's to be expected. I did some research, and it turns out MIBR's lost 15 of the last 20 pistol rounds. Currently on a streak of 8 straight pistol round losses. So I think there's some fat to be trimmed going forward. Hopefully you convert a couple of those, and I think some of these games could be going the other way as a result. Yeah,
we'll have to see. And Kyo, I know you just came in. Pasha stepped into your place. You didn't get to talk too much about the game. What was your kind of idea of that VP Cloud9 match?
I think VP tried a lot of things this time. The last match they played really passive, and this one they kind of tried everything. So they had like the fast rounds at the beginning, then trying to slow it down a bit because they could see that when they were playing fast it didn't work. So they slowed it down. They started real well. I think they just used everything they had at the beginning of the T side when they were up 7-2, and then they just looked a bit lost.
Yeah.
They started to lose one round, and then they just keep chaining, not finding any solution about it, and it just like keep going down on this side. I think it could have been even like a better win for them if they just like could keep going on the T side at the end.
They did show some of that fearlessness, that you said that they needed.
Yeah, they did.
Which was very cool to see. Either way, we can bring up the leaderboard now for the whole day to see exactly where all these teams stand at their 2 rounds of matches. You can see Astralis, they've had a nice, easy day. 2-0 for them. A huge round differential as well. They're sitting very pretty going into day 2. MIBR, not necessarily close on their heels, but definitely second place. So, with 1 win, 1 draw. Thought a differential, but it's Cloud9 and NIP. I mean, NIP was a team that we kind of pegged at the start of this day that they could be dangerous.
Yeah. I think they were really dangerous against MIBR actually, because it was really close. We could see only them playing 2 matches so far, so they still have so much that they can prove that they improved the past few weeks.
Yeah, that win might come back to haunt them, Tony.
Listen, the ties in this format can be rough because it is a format, round robin, where you could end up in a tiebreaker situation, and that's just a rough way to be out of the tournament.
Yeah, having a draw instead of a loss is actually a very big deal. As you can see, it brings MIBR up to second place versus some of the other teams that are maybe 1-1 and still kind of sitting back. But Virtus.Pro on there, you guys sounded surprised they're able to pull a win out of this one at all?
Well, I mean, I thought that if they did well, it'd at least be close. I think what really set them apart, I think, is first of all, like you said, they had a really good start to the Terrorist side half, and they kind of lost steam towards the end of it. But then on CT side, they really looked like, it's reminiscent of how they used to play in the golden days, right? Like they played aggressive, they were kind of all over the place. Yeah. Everybody was doing well. That was good to see. I really like seeing Pasha happy. It's just one of those guys that you just hope only good things happen to.
He really is. It's an infectious personality that he's got. It's phenomenal. Either way, we're happy for him, but we're gonna go back over to Mr. Savage on the stage to provide us the exclamation point on this day.
Yes, thanks very much, guys. We are. Do you know what? I'm actually buzzing still. I think I'm about 7% tired. That's all I am right now. I could keep going on and on and on, seriously. But we have to end it here on the main stage for today. But we've had those 6 epic matchups so far. Loads more coming your way tomorrow. In T-minus. Later, the doors are going to open, actually, about 16 hours from now, the doors are going to open here, and all the fans are going to flood in for what is going to be a Super Saturday here at the arena. I cannot wait. And actually, I've actually prepared a little something for you guys, a bit of a little show and tell ahead of tomorrow of some of the amazing pyrotechnics coming your way. All right, guys, 3, 2, 1, let them have it. We practiced this like 7 times. 7 times. Okay, fine. It's not happening. It's not happening. But there you have it. That is the main stage for today. Loads more coming your way tomorrow. I can't wait to see you guys. And until then, take care. Jason, back to you guys on the desk.
Yeah, those pyrotechnics will be in full force tomorrow when the doors finally open. The crowd has not been allowed in yet today. It was a very small viewing, so make sure you tune in tomorrow when the atmosphere in here gets wild with all the Turkish fans coming and showing up in their support for all their different teams, especially Space Soldiers. Thanks for watching today. We'll be back tomorrow with Blast Pro Series.